when you figure out that the spirituality journey is all about emotional regulation, because we are all, our first 3 years of life, no, we're not necessarily that, but those sensations come up. And so as long as you're afraid to feel, which is what people definitely have, and that's because between big T's and small T's, so big trauma, small trauma, and attachment wounds, people don't know themselves. And the spirituality community, they have a lot of beautiful things they talk about. So let's add, though, because when you learn about geometry, sacred geometry, or you learn about alchemy, and I learned all about it, but what I've learned even more is that people don't understand that their nervous system is important. And that when they're seeing figures, geometric figures, or having any type of situation go down in our clear land, to harness it means you need to know how to self-regulate. And most people that are in 4D land don't. That's why they fall for any person who will give them a way to feel special. And that also will say, this is the world that I'm going to want to bring forth. Most of 4D, if not all, think humans are broken. And that's a reflection of what they feel inside. I don't think humans are broken. I have secure attachment, though. And I've never thought of humans as broken. That's the whole point. I've always seen we have the potential to rise above and to transform the way we see things. Not because we pause life. No. We don't pause life because it's an inner growth journey. So you being able to harness this spiritual process that the collective that does not know about being a human yet, long-term decisions. Okay, so if you don't have secure attachment, if you don't have a differentiated self, if your 3-year-old is not an unconditionally loving, compassionate 3-year-old, which means I can be flawed and imperfect, and you, whoever you are, of my peers, my family, my entire, all 8 billion and plus, you can come to me and tell me the worst words in this world. So here, a story. When I was a teenager, I remember clearly contemplating a lot of things, because teenagers are going to be teenagers, right? So they're cold. Sometimes they're emotional. They don't know how to harness transformation. And in fact, it's sad to see those who have big T's or small T's with attachment wounds basically live their entire life with inconsistency, because they don't learn how to get out of rigidity or chaos, because they don't think of themselves as human. And then it's sad to see the securely attached people make up some bullshit line of, oh, because I got cheated on and lied to and whatever it is, now that all of this has happened, I'm broken and I have trust issues and, oh no. Okay, so attachment system, we all have it in our lovely brain. And that's where you learn how to be a inner nurturer. So if you have secure attachment, you have not become disconnected from your inner world, because you will have been seen, soothed, and kept safe and secure just the way you are. I'm lucky I have equanimity in the forefront, because I have had the ideal parenting style, which means I got to be my own self as the feeling self of me as a child growing up, not shamed for having feelings, not shamed for being whatever it is that my personality traits brought forth. No, I was educated. I was spoken to. I was looked at with compassionate, understanding eyes and spoken to. And there's a difference. That's why the authoritarian or the permissive parenting styles are not ideal. The authoritative is where there's the ability to know I will embark on seeing my child the way they are. And when I say seeing, it's not about seeing their behavior. No, it's actually how they feel life and the repairing. So if I feed you but you're cold, I repair. And people who care about this are all parents who in fact are learning about their own attachment category before they even bother trying to move into being parents, because they understand being human. And not all people care about that. In fact, we have people saying, we're going soft. It's like, no, we're not. We're actually growing more knowledgeable. That's what it is. It's not softness. We don't want the ancient silverbacks. Thank you very much. Some of us know emotional maturity. But until you do not know emotional maturity, you're going to want a leader That's strong because your 3-year-old is heartbroken and helpless and hopeless and afraid. And so that's why people do look with the adaptive child. This is what I would have wanted in my household. This is what I would have wanted here. And it's very interesting how some think they're very intellectually smart. But any person who has no emotional intelligence cannot consider themselves smart because they're ruled by their 0-1-year-old. Now, they may think they have a handle over others because they can steer their way, but when you make choices out of fear, they're usually not going to be very well placed. In fact, you're not making the right use not only of your own inner power, but you also are not protecting your future. So what I've noticed is that people who don't know how to alchemize, they don't actually rise up. Doesn't matter. They can have all the colors they want. They don't rise up because they don't know how to look. They don't know how to look at themselves. So when people have their third eye blocked, it's because they're not doing introspection and intrapersonal growth. And here, the attachment system of yours is very important. It will long to be seen, to be soothed, to be safe, to be secure. So codependent type relationships is what you will see people are in and or display. Martyrs, superiors, they want to push their way on others, and you have to do it that way, so the world has to look this way. Or the whole self-blame or blaming others. Blame, shame, fault, and revenge are all part of a shame cycle, which means that a person is not yet emotionally mature. They don't have a handle on themselves. You cannot nurture the future into being if you do not know how to harness your intellect in a transformative way and nurture yourself in an ideal, emotional, mature way. This comes with a balance. It's called healthy living. It does not mean the absence of alcohol or drugs or sex or any of that stuff. No, it means that you have no compulsive behaviors. It means that you don't suffer in life. And that's very straightforward because the suffering bit is your attachment system, that until you're the one who's harnessing it, and so understanding how you self-regulate, or if you don't. And on that note, self-regulation is straightforward because we have the nervous system with sympathetic, parasympathetic. Rhythmic breathing helps you. So that's a beginning point. Mindsight, mindfulness, yoga, all of these things help a person to start to work with their human being body. It's an embodied brain. Okay, and so when you and I, this is for my 5D collective, are able to be securely attached, that's why we can always look at another person from our oversoul and our entire community and expand. We don't cut cords, we don't cancel people. There's no soul contracts that end, or energy vampires or dark auras. They're people. And when you see those dark eyes, it's a person who's gone down a path. I've seen them. It's sad because what they're doing is a misaligned life, but it's a person who has compulsive behavior, inner critic, outer critic. They do drugs, alcohol, sex, food compulsively. They have a cycle. It's a pattern, and they withdraw, and they do it all over again. So that whole light and shadow, it's not a light and shadow work. It's either you're learning to harness your 3-year-old or not. And I say 3 because the first 3 years of your life are that implicit memory. It's all emotional and sensation. So until you feel good to be yourself and giggly and fine with somebody saying, you're a piece of shit, like for real. And I say for real because I have yet to meet some people that are like, yeah, you know what? I've met some people. Yeah, now that I think about it, that can say, I am me. I'm good with me. I know society is changing and, different. There's usually a lot of group mentality. So when I'm trying to think of people that I know who are independent, they would be people that live their life without thinking, I need to reflect what you want, what you want, what you want. No, I live my life in a way that can support my society, but that allows me to freely be that 3-year-old. So our dreams, they always come true. They're part of who you are. If you're looking for somebody to help you to have them come true, it's not good or bad. It's that you're not yet the owner of your own emotional plane because you're still looking for additional support on how to manifest what is really from within. It's a journey. It's a beautiful one. We talk all about emotional regulation, building skills, relationships minus the drama, the importance of being those of us who can, the Zen masters, to give people the opportunity to tap into their infinite, higher human consciousness potential experience. They can only do that if they get a person who's a secure attachment, so they can be seen with loving eyes. So tune in for more. Let's make it a nice world, shall we?